What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome, this is your first visit. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Matt. On this channel I review brand new cars. This is 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid and the Sport L trim, a sweet spot in my opinion for some of you that are looking for some luxurious features without sacrificing the power and getting some great gas mileage. And thanks to Ed Morse Honda in Riviera Beach, Florida, I'm going to be able to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out, the exterior, interior, technology, and the test drive. So if that's something that interests you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more automotive content. After you watch the video, if you liked it, don't forget to give me a like. The CR-V has been with us for many years. And for those of you who are following the channel or maybe know me personally, you know that I used to work at a Honda dealership back in 1997. And that was the year when Honda CR-V was first introduced. Of course, it looked completely different. We had two models, an LX and the EX, and that was it. And throughout the years, it became one of the best-selling model from the brand. Now, they kept on improving and building off of the previous generation, making it better and better and better. And now we have this. Now, for 2026, there are only a few changes on this vehicle, and the biggest one was introduction of the new trim called the Trail Sport that quickly stole the thunder from the rest of the lineup and quickly faded also when people realized there was nothing but a few badges and more aggressive tires. Now, for those of you who like it, I don't dismiss it. I just think that they could have done more with the Trail Sport trim, and therefore I think that this could be a sweet spot for some of you that are looking to spend just about the same amount of money on the Trail Sport, but have, in my opinion, some better options. And we're going to start this tour on the exterior of this vehicle, checking it out. It looks the same as 2025 model. There are really no changes out here. It is dressed in the urban gray pearl color, which is an optional color choice for the CR-V, about $455, and money well spent in my opinion. We have the LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and the reflector LED headlamp. Scrolling down here, we have the more aggressive styling for this sport trim, including some Earl curtains on the side and bottom of this vehicle. We have this pretty cool trim pieces on those sides and an open grille that allows more air to get inside for better aerodynamics, also help cooling with the engine. The Sport L trim also has this shiny black front grille with a bright chrome Honda logo right in the middle there. Well, let's pop the hood open and let's see what powers it up. And underneath the hood, you'll find a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine assisted by 2 electric motors. Now, why 2? Because one is used as a generator, the other one is used to drive the wheels as necessary. We have 3 different drive modes. So we have the EV mode, which electric motors drive the wheels. We also have the hybrid modes, which the vehicle decides between the power of the electric or the internal combustion engine. And we also have the ability to drive just on the internal combustion engine alone. This is not a hybrid that you plug in. Matter of fact, it recharges, it regenerates while driving. It has the regenerative braking, and it is mated to a ECVT transmission. That's somewhat works like the direct drive transmission on the electric vehicles. It's basically a single drive motor. Now, as far as the horsepower, we have 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque, so it is very powerful. And from what I remember, it drives really, really nice. But we're going to check that out again today at the end of this video. What else we have? We have two hood struts holding the hood nice and tall and some sound insulation. Can't wait to take it for a spin. And of course, before we do that, let's take a look at the side profile of this vehicle, because the CR-V has grown quite a bit. Now it's 184 inches long, about 66 inches high, about 73 inches wide, and it has a wheelbase of over 108 inches. So it's a decent size vehicle, and it looks very classic. There's nothing out of place in this one. I think it's one of the best looking compact SUVs, if you can still call it compact at this size. Let's take a look at the wheel and tire setups. The Sport L trim has 18-inch shiny black wheels with the bright Honda logo right in the middle there, and the size of the tires 235 by 60 on 18-inch rim. As you can see, everything around the wheels and at the bottom of the vehicle is covered with this plastic cladding to help protect the paint from getting chipped and scratched. Now, as far as the mirrors, we have the black mirror caps with the turn signals built inside of it. We also have the blind spot assist. And if you look at the doors, the front doors have these three little lines over here. That means that the vehicle is equipped with the proximity entry system on the front. The doors only, so as I put my hand inside of it, I hear that car unlocks. Everything around the windows is basically blacked out. We have the low profile roof rails, and the gas door is on the driver's side. Now, moving on to the back side, you'll find those large lights. So typical to the CRV, we have the LED lights as far as the tail lamps. We have the LED reverse lights, and we have the incandescent turn signal. Not sure why manufacturers are still using that, but hey, shame on you. It should be all LEDs. We have the LED light as far as the third brake light, exposed wiper, big Honda logo. In the middle, we have the rear view camera, CRV hybrid sport on the other side. And here's what's interesting. Most of the hybrids don't have the real exhaust tips. Now this one has it. Now it has it on both sides, but only one is real, the other one is fake. And we have this kind of diffuser style bottom portion of the bumper. Now let's pop the gate open and see how much room we have on the inside. And it can be opened up several different ways. One way is to use the remote. By the way, this is the newer Honda remote, and we have the memory seat. So see, this is the driver one key. Lock, unlock, hold to start the car, hold to open the gate. That's what we're doing right now. We also have the panic button. So about 39 cubic feet of space behind the seats. This is pretty impressive. We have some accessory on this particular one. Take that out. Also the mats. Let's see if there's anything underneath here. And the answer is no, because this is, I believe, where the batteries are. Now, they're mounted underneath the floor. They also have their own like cooling system to keep those batteries cooled at all times. And we have some illumination here, 12-volt power outlet. And the seats, they have the 60-40 split. I'm pretty sure that this seat belt is going to prevent us from dropping it. But you can also undo the seat belt and be able to fold the seats down all the way, giving you about 76 cubic feet of storage space. Now, that's quite a bit for the vehicle in its class, and it looks good too. Now, we also have this a large opening here in the back, so it's not really narrower much at the top as it's at the bottom, and it's pretty low to the ground, so it's easy to load it up. Now, the power gate, push the button, get it closed up, and let's see what's going on the interior. All right, back seat time, guys. Let's see if I can fit behind the seat that's adjusted to my regular driving position. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, or almost 6 feet tall for the point of reference. Sometimes I'm 5'11 and a half. Sometimes I'm 6 feet, I guess, depending on what kind of shoes I'm wearing. Anyways, I have plenty of room as far as my knee room, plenty of headroom, and plenty of shoulder room. The seats are adjustable too. I can recline it even more than it is right now if I want to take a nap during a long drive. But we're not here to nap, rather to show you the rest of the interior of this CRV. So check this out. This is what's going on right here in the back. So first of all, a flat floor. Here's the sticker. Now, I know some of you are non-believers, but this is a 2026 CRV hybrid two-wheel drive Sport L. Total MSRP $40,630, and we have the gas mileage of 40. That's the average gas mileage, 43 in the city, 36 on the highway. And this is it. This is what we have on this CRV. Going back to this back seat area. So the back passengers have their own vents and their own USB Type-C ports. They have plenty of space to put their feet in underneath the seats, and the passenger seat also has some seat back storage in the back. Now, the seats are leather wrapped, so this is not leatherette. This is the real deal. And we have the middle console that opens up with the two cup holders. I also like this orange stitching in the middle here. Now, we don't have the heated or ventilated seats on this model. And let's move on, see what's going on this rear door panel. Now, this, if I were to complain something, is this rear door panel, because I think that Honda forgets that the passengers in the back need to be taken care of, because this is all hard plastic. It's all blacked out, so we have this trim that goes throughout the vehicle. Now, we do have the soft armrest the window control, more storage as far as the cup holder, CRV, and 2 speakers in this rear door. Now let's see what's going on in the driver compartment. Of course, before we get inside, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. That's pretty solid in my book. And here, this is what's happening, guys. This is softer material in the front. Why can't we do it in the back, Honda? You have the same trim as in the back seat. Of course, 2 memory seat settings, window, mirror, lock controls, more storage in here, a speaker, CRV, and then, yes, we have the softer material for the armrest as well. Now, both of the seats are power adjustment. Now, this one has the power adjustment up and down as well. In the passenger seat, we only have back and forth and the recliner, and this one also has the lumbar support. So the seats are more bolstered in the front. They're still a leather seat, really nice, very comfortable. Let's see what's going on the left hand of the steering wheel. We have the release of the gate, the power gate for the rear. Let me jump inside. I'll show the rest of it. And of course, let's listen to the sound of the closing door from the interior as well. Boom. You got the car running, even though you can barely hear that, but the sound of the door was good. And here's the interior of this 2026 Honda CR-V Sport L Hybrid. Let's see what's going on. First of all, starting at the dashboard right here, this is the same softer touch material as we see on the doors, and we have this pretty cool looking trim, like the honeycomb trim. We have the vents that are built in there on the sides, and of course right in the middle, and this trim that continues throughout the entire vehicle on the interior. That's all blacked out too. We have some new screens, some new technology, but let's start with the steering wheel first. So the steering wheel, I like it. It's the right size. Okay, it's a leather wrapped. We have some contrast stitching on the inside. It's thicker in the right places. If I were to complain about it, maybe do it a little thicker in here with this golf ball texture. Kind of feels better, in my opinion. Big Honda logo in here, some aluminum at the bottom. And then on the left-hand side, we have the volume, seek track for your radio, and the voice control. On the right-hand side, cruise control and adaptive cruise control. Now, these are the regen buttons. Okay, so these are not the pedal shifters because of course we don't have gears, and the standard stocks with the lights, turn signals, and the wipers. Now, as far as the instrument cluster, we have the 10.2 inch, which is larger than it was before, fully digital instrument cluster. Now, that comes on the higher trim models. I believe that's an EXL and above. And let's see as far as the functionality of it. So this is your standard setting. We have the speedometer on the right-hand side, and then we have the tachometer, or actually this is the power charge because this is a hybrid vehicle, so it gives you the percentage of power from 0 to 100%, right? On the left-hand side, we're in the EV mode, 82 degrees outside, we're ready to go, and we're in park. But we can also see what's going on here and set up this to display either a radio, so we have the FM, AM, USB, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or you can customize display. You can go back out of here, go back to phone, or get back out of here. So now it's displayed what's playing. Now on the left-hand side, we have the battery level. On the right-hand side, we have the fuel level. And we can do the same thing as far as what's going on with displays inside the right gauge. And now we have the battery or the hybrid system. Then we have the average miles. Now see that the engine kicked on, so I'm going to move it back. So see now the engine is acting as a generator, charging up that battery in the back. And then we have the average fuel, 2.5 miles per gallon. Well, that's not true, right? But the vehicle's really hasn't been driven. Now, how many miles it has? 3 miles on it. So average speed, 1 mile per hour. So, and elapsed time, almost an hour. So see, this vehicle's been sitting and idling. That's why. So attention assist, drive safely, and then I'm not wearing a seatbelt. Maintenance, 100%, oil life, safety support, and you can push this button to see what's displayed. So we have the road departure mitigation, blind spot information, we have the low speed braking control, parking sensor system, collision mitigation braking system, all part of this Honda Sensing suite of safety features. And then let's see if there's anything else. No content, right? So brightness, you can adjust that. Vehicle stability assist mode, you can turn that off. Vehicle settings, driver 1, driver 2, I guess, gauge display settings. Let's see if we can change the gauge design. And now we are in round. We can also do the bar design. Okay. Not really. Round, minimal. Not really. I'm gonna keep it with round, just a regular bar. There you go. So, I mean, this is basically what you have as far as the customization inside of this instrument cluster. And let's move on to the infotainment system. Now, on the highest trim level, which is the Sport Touring, you'll get the Google-based infotainment system, which you don't get on this. Kind of a shame. I wish all of them come standard with it. Not sure why Honda discriminates against the lower trims. And not sure how much more expensive it would be just to do a different software on it. That's a missed opportunity in my book. But this is the Honda infotainment system. So first of all, we have audio. And if you go to the sources, again, we see FM, AM, USB, Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. What are we missing? Sirius XM, because it's not here. Again, I wish they brought it back, but it's not standard auto. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of them are wireless connection, and now the phone is not connected. We can go to general settings, and you can change different things in here too, as far as the sound volume, rear camera. Let's see what the rear camera does. Just the guidelines, dynamic guidelines, cross traffic monitor, all of them are on, which, you know, let's put it in reverse and let's see how that looks. And that looks okay. It looks decent. It's not the best, not the worst. By the way, if there's too much reflection, it's because I have this film on it. But the camera is just a camera. I don't think there's anything spectacular about it, but it does the job. And let's go back to the home screen. Oh, I can't because I'm in drive. So let's put it back to park. And now let's go back to home screen. And this is pretty much it. So not much as far in terms of customization, in terms of the shiny big screens like you see on many competitors. Now we still have the volume and audio, physical button and push button or knob, if you will. So that's what's going on here. Now scrolling down, here we have the dual zone climate control, which is the automatic one, the heated seats, some shortcuts for the climate control, and, you know, manual adjustments for the fan too. Now, this is what a lot of people like. You know, they don't like to scroll on the screen with their fingers because, you know, it's not very user-friendly, if you will, in many cases, although it's getting better and better. And I kind of like that too. But this is an option for people who don't like that. And now we have wireless charging as well for 2026 model year. That's a standard equipment. 2 USB Type-C ports, 12-volt power outlet. Now, drive modes. Let's see what we have as far as the drive modes. Moving here, we have the Sport, Normal, Econ, and Snow. Now, this is a two-wheel drive vehicle. This is a front-wheel drive vehicle, so it's not going to have that enhanced like terrain modes or anything like this. Hill descent control, you can turn that on or off. We have the electronic parking brake hold, and the regular traditional-looking shifter. Okay, with the B mode, that basically maximizes recharge for your battery. That's basically what that is. I'm going to turn off that hill descent control, turn it off basically. 2 cup holders, a bit more storage, and a lot more storage in this middle compartment. Now, one other thing that's missing from most of the newer Hondas is the HomeLink system. So it's not here. It used to be standard. I believe it is an optional equipment for the CRV. You can buy that mirror with a HomeLink system. I believe it's like $400 and some dollars. I'm not sure exactly what the price is. And this is where you can set up your lights on, off, or door. And this is your, of course, your LED lights. You can open up your sunroof, letting some air inside of here. And this is a manual sunshade. We also have the ability to just tilt it open as such. Sunglasses holder, and then in the visors, we have some illumination as well, and then completes the interior portion of this vehicle. Let's talk about pricing and take it for a spin. when you're looking at the CRV in 2026, the main thing to know that there are non-hybrid and hybrid versions of it. And there's 3 non-hybrid trims, which is the LX, EX, and EXL, and there are 5 hybrid trims. So let's talk about the pricing, because the cheapest one is the LX, and it starts at $30,920, EX $33,150, and then we have the EXL at $35,400. Now, the hybrid starts at the Sport Hybrid. This is the first one, the least expensive one with this motor, which is, the 204 horsepower motor, and we have the 40 miles per gallon as far as the gas mileage. So the Sport Hybrid starts at $35,630. But if you want it like the leather, a little bit nicer interior, you'll go with the Sport L at $38,725. Now, the Trail Sport Hybrid is $38,800. So the Trail Sport, it's a new trim for 2026 model year. First, it comes standard with the all-wheel drive. And normally, if you wanted the all-wheel drive, you have to spend extra money on it, and it costs about $1,500 extra on any other trim. But if you wanted the Trail Sport, it comes with the exterior accents, with some badging on the exterior, with some more aggressive tires, cloth seats, and that's about it. I mean, that's why I said in the beginning of this video that it stole all the thunder, because of the success that Honda had with their Passport Trail Sport, even with the Pilot Trail Sport, the Ridgeline Trail Sport, which actually can do some of the off-road trails, because they have the Sport Tune or the off-road tune suspension. We have some bigger tires, a little bit more of a ground clearance, some typical for the off-roading features like the skid plates, etc. With the CRV, it's just a few badges and some orange accents. So the Sport Touring Hybrid is the ultimate CRV, $42,250. And now we have the Bose Premium System. We have the Google-based infotainment system. We have a lot more features that are standard on it than any of the other CRVs. But of course, it comes at a price, $42,250. Is it priced out of the market? Absolutely not. Because if you're looking at the RAV4, if you're looking at the CX-5, if you're looking at the Nissan Rogue, all of those vehicles at the top of the line are in the mid-40s. Okay, that includes also the Tucson and the Kia Sportage. So let's talk about the segment before we take it for a spin. We'll continue that while driving, but the segment is super busy. Now, we have a lot of newcomers. We have just recently redesigned Kia Sportage for 2026. Brand new, really nice vehicle. They have non-hybrids, they have hybrids as well. Tucson was refreshed for last model year. We're waiting for the RAV4. That's going to be all new for 2026 model year. So that's not out yet. They're all going to be hybrids. They're all going to be really nice as far as what I've seen in the pictures and videos. I haven't had a chance to test drive it yet. I'm waiting for the dealerships to receive it to take it for a quick spin. And of course, the big news too is the Nissan Rogue finally is getting the hybrid powertrain. So again, that's going to be a direct competitor to this. Now, the CX-50, the CX-5, those are always nice, very premium vehicles. And the CX-50, we have the hybrid version from the Toyota RAV4, right? So different brands for different people, right? Depends on what you like and depends on what you're attracted to, what your needs are. Most of them are going to be in pretty much the same price range as far as the range of the vehicles, right? So somewhere in from the $30,000 to about $45,000, depending on the equipment. The gas mileage, I'm waiting for that RAV4 hybrid. I'm not going to lie, because if that's going to come out with about 45 miles per gallon, it's going to beat everything else on the market. The Sportage is really impressive. So who would buy a Honda? Well, working for a Honda dealership in prior career, I've seen a lot of people that are coming to buy a Honda already owned a Honda before. And they like the reliability of it. They like the familiarity with the vehicle, because even though it might not be as shiny, as flashy, as big screens as, some of the competitors, it is something that you get into the new generation, where everything else, where all the buttons are, and you feel very familiar with it. With the Kia and Hyundai, you know, a lot of people are attracted to the big screens, tons of features of it. And if that's your thing, well, go for it. That's why we have choices. But Toyota, Honda, reliability definitely is one of the main things where people buy it. But we can't forget about some of the vehicles that were not really in the competition, if you will, even though they were, but like the Equinox and the Terrain. And I think the GM's done a fantastic job on both of these, you know, as far as, you know, redesigning them and as far as giving them the different powertrains and all that stuff. So, I mean, if you're looking for that, there's definitely many choices for you to pick from. Now let's talk about the drive. Very quiet on the interior. It feels solid. It has great visibility. I mean, the mirrors are decent size. We have this huge windshield. You sit up higher without, you know, being 10 feet off the ground. So definitely it is a nice driving vehicle and tons of room in here. Look, I can push myself 2 inches, maybe 3 inches to the front, still have plenty of room. So definitely one of the most roomy vehicles in its class. Now I'm going to check out the turning radius of this vehicle. Let's go right here. There's a parking lot with a whole bunch of skid marks in here so people do donuts. I'm not going to do donuts in here, but I want to see how this vehicle turns. So turn the steering wheel all the way to the right and let's go. Very nice. It really is. It's a very tight turning radius. Doesn't have much of that body lean. Now the suspension is actually very nicely holding this vehicle stable. Now, of course, I don't have any terrain to check it out with, but for the regular driving, this is pretty good. And I'm going to try to find an open stretch of road to see the acceleration of this vehicle. Now, I'm not going to beat on it. This is a 45 mile per hour limit anyways, and it's a brand new car. So we're just going to see how safe it could be to merge with traffic, keep up with the ongoing traffic, etc. All right, we'll let the stop sign and let's go. Very nice. Look at this, guys. We're at 40 already, 45. That's about the speed limit here. So this is it. No complaints. This is one of the safe bets that you can make on the vehicle. If you're unsure about any of the other ones, because obviously it's your choice, if you have some reservations or complaints about some of the competition, you're gonna be like, what am I gonna get? I wish that I could just find something that's a safe bet. It doesn't have to be too flashy. Well, here it is. That's the CR-V. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something about this brand new 2026 CR-V Sportel hybrid trim. And if you did, don't forget to give me a like. And if you like watching the automotive content like this, consider subscribing. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers. And I know you probably won't hear this, but I gotta tell you, the backing in sound is probably one of the most annoying sounds. I know it's an electric vehicle only, so they all make these ominous noises like spaceships or ghost walking or, you know, whatever else that is. But yeah, not liking it.